WV DMV Radio. I'm your host, Jennifer Dooley, and you're listening to West Virginia Division of Motor Vehicles podcast, Licensed to Innovate. West Virginia Division of Motor Vehicles strives to be an efficient agency, an innovative agency, and most of all, a welcoming agency for the guests we serve. Later in the show, we'll be hearing from Cecil Loyd, one of the executive directors here at the West Virginia Division of Motor Vehicles, and he'll share with us one of the best ways to reduce your wait time here at the DMV. We'll also be checking in with Harvey for the news, but first, Jenny Murray from V100 stopped by our Canal City office earlier in the week to share some insights not only for the guests we serve, but also the employees here. You know, we never really get that positive feedback, and many of our employees here are listeners of Jenny on the radios, so it'll be nice to hear from her about the effects of the work that they're doing. So, Jenny, you've stopped by the DMV.
Many times.
Yes. And it's not like the DMV of the past where there was a ultra long line wrapped around Building 3 at the Capitol.
No, you get a number.
You get a number. Tell us about that a little bit.
Well, I always plan to spend a long time here because you never know, but I'm always surprised how short of a time it takes to get what you need done, as long as you have everything you're supposed to have. And that's where the website comes in. You know, if you need a license renewal, you check online before you come in. If you need to, redo your registration, check before you come in. It makes it so much easier. I did have a good experience with a renter who someone actually stole his license plate off of his car, and I called and they took care of him right away. It was a great experience.
All right. Anything else?
Nope. I love my DMV.
Thank you, Jenny. And our next guest, we're going to talk to Cecil Loyd. He is one of our executive directors here at DMV. Good morning, Cecil.
Good morning.
You were talking to me in the hallway the other day about how we have really increased our drive to get the public to make appointments. So I wanted to take a minute and talk about maybe the benefits of making appointments.
Well, the benefits obviously are you get in and out a lot quicker. I mean, just on average, we see about 19,000 customers a week. We saw 10,800 appointments in June alone, but only about 11% of our customers are appointments. We like to see more customers take advantage of that because it gets them in and out quicker. I mean, on average, a vehicle appointment gets you in and out in, well, your wait time's like 3 minutes, 47 seconds, whereas if you were walking, it's 22 minutes, 58 seconds. So if you're looking for convenience, if you're looking for an in and out of the DMV, if you just want to not spend all day waiting in line, that's your best option. But we've tried to get the word out. I just don't know if people just don't want to commit to having an appointment, or if it's, I'm not sure why a lot of people don't want to do it. But when we're seeing 19,000 customers a week and only 11% of those customers have appointments and they could be in and out faster with those appointments, we're trying different things. Of course, I mentioned the other day, we started with appointments back in March of 2020, right after COVID, because we'd shut down because of COVID. Actually, we shut down in March of 20 because of COVID. We went back up in May with appointments. And for a couple months, you had to have an appointment only. And I mean, to start out with, it was a tedious process. Each appointment type, we have 4. We have vehicle transactions, we have a driver's license ID, renewals, duplicates, things like that. We have one for skills tests, and we have one for knowledge testing. We had a piece of paper that had to print off every morning for each one of those appointment types. You can do anything with it. The customer came in, you had to mark it off, they would talk back and forth. At one point in time, we had walkie-talkies in some of the offices, where the information desk would tell the driver counter, hey, your appointment's here. So we were doing a lot to be more convenient for the customers and to expedite what can be done. Because for the first few months of the COVID, we were appointment only. We went until July before we even allowed walk-ins again.
I remember if you're talking to anybody at all, you had your mask, you were far apart,
we opened back up with appointments and plexiglass. So we didn't actually take full office opens until June 29th of 2020. And we've evolved with the appointment system, thankfully. In August 2023, we rolled out the Gala system. It was NemoQ, kind of an update of their system. it actually enabled us to be able to enter that person's phone number they made the appointment with and actually pull them up, issue the ticket. No more printing off paper, having to keep mark it here. Now there are a few things we do, like no-shows, they have to keep track of, just with tick marks and put them in at the end of the day. But I mean, otherwise, it's as seamless as we could get for what we have right now, but we continue to evolve. Last year, we it was a year before, we started the QR code to check yourself in.
Okay.
So the nice thing about that is it's even faster because you just get that QR code, you check yourself in, you actually get your ticket on your phone. There's no need to go to the information desk. As long as you make sure you have all your paperwork that you need. A lot of people will still come in and not have that driver's application or have that title filled out, which could end up with you having to go back to the information desk to get all that stuff.
Okay.
So it's really important when you do have an appointment that you have all your documents together. So when you make it, there's actually a little link on there. It's like a little checkbox that says, need a doc. Go in there and actually tell you need this for driver's license, you need this for a skills test, you need this for an exam. So it's very important to make sure you have what you need. That's the easiest and fastest way to get in now, even with an appointment.
3 minutes and 47 seconds, did you say, versus 22 minutes? I know most people, it's 2026 right now, most people do not like to wait in lines longer than 2 people. And you're
getting that with an appointment almost.
Yeah. Okay. I've just witnessed walking through the lobby with the Canal City regional office that it tends to be, there's certain times when the line out into the lobby is longer. Certain times when more people, maybe it's a more convenient time of the day, or maybe they're trying to pick a time.
Well, a lot of times it's for the walk-ins and it's in the morning.
Yeah.
I'm one of those people. I want to be the first one there. I want to be the first one in line. Well, I'm not the only person that feels that way.
There are 30 first people in line.
Yeah, so they want to be in line first. Of course, it's also the time of the month. The first of the month, the end of the month are some of our busiest times, the time of year. If you were just down there within the last 2 weeks, of course, July 1st, all the scenic plates, as far as the your wildlife plates, all that kind of stuff comes due July 1st. Every 3 years, which is one of those years, a cycle for your boats, your campers, your trailers. That's happening this year.
Oh, wow.
So though it starts in April, a lot of people don't actually get out and start camping, getting on the lakes until, June and July. So they're just now coming in to get those. So this is one of our peak times of year and peak years. Because it's once every 3 years. So lines are longer than usual right now. So are wait times.
I would think and even the wait times, though, a longer wait time now is when you're hitting that 30 minutes, not when you're like 2 hours like it used to be long ago. You'd see the old pictures of lines.
Even overall, even if you're a walk-in, our standard baseline we're seeing right now is usually still from the time you get here to the time you leave.
Yeah.
It's still less than a half hour, whether you're a walk-in or an appointment. But if you're an appointment, you can almost expect half that amount of time.
That's so you don't even really feel like you're waiting.
Actually, depending on what you do, because if you're a driver's license test, a skills test, knowledge test, you're going to be here longer because you get the 50 minutes to take the test and you get all the processing. Depending on the skills test, if you would happen to fail, you won't be here that long, but if you pass, it could be a longer process with all the steps you have to go through. But there's variances to everything, but it's still a lot quicker with an appointment.
And I can imagine with an appointment that, when I look at it online as if I'm the guest coming in, it's even. There's little blocks of time throughout the day so that we could drop them in on the times that are truly less.
You can.
Truly less hectic.
Yeah, it's actually one of the nice things when we actually started with the QR codes. Around that same time, I believe, we also enabled same-day appointments. So you could actually walk, like you said, Canal City the other day, you could walk in and see 30 people in line. If you take the time to actually go online and look, there might be an appointment book open, for most appointments start at 9. So there might be a 9 o'clock appointment. You're there staying in line at 8:30. So you could go in and actually get an appointment, go check yourself in, and you're getting called and already done. You're walking out past people that were in line when you got there.
That would make
you might see that person that you were in line behind, but you've already got waited on out the door because you made your appointment online that morning, and you got waited on because you checked yourself in, you had everything you needed, and you were gone.
That'd be a little bit fun. Being efficient is a lot of fun.
It is, and that's our goal.
And in DMV overall, I know we're working towards efficiency as one of our main goals right now as an agency.
We have a lot of stuff online now, but there's still so many things had to be done in the office. We want that to be as efficient and as simple as doing it online. I mean, we know most people don't want to come in to see us, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
And we want the experience to be positive. We want it to be expeditious. We want, and this has been the commissioner's goal since he took over in 2020, we want to change the view of the DMV.
Yeah.
You know, it's not this place, oh, Lord, I have to go to the DMV today. Oh, I went today and, oh, I'm done, I'm out here. Which we see a lot of positive comments about the appointments. I've seen very few, if any, negative comments about the appointments. If anything, it's been they wish more people would use them.
Yeah.
And we actually have had customers post that stuff.
One of the things you mentioned, our Commissioner Everett Frazier, one of the things I hear him talk about if he's talking to any group of our employees, whether we're having a retirement, whether we're recognizing a job well done on something, he always talks about treating our, not customers,
They're guests. Yes.
They're guests. Mm-hmm. I love that DMV. I mean, you know, being responsible with their time is a part of that.
It is.
They're going to have a better experience if they get in and out quickly.
Yes.
So what are some of the other things? I know you mentioned online. Let's talk about that a little
Sure.
bit, and any of the other things that we're doing to really be good stewards of their time.
Well, recently, one of the things I've seen take off, I actually keep track every morning of the online services. One of the biggest things that just started within the last month is being able to get duplicate title online. That was one of the biggest things that the vehicle service section had mail-in work. So you can actually go online and request your duplicate title online now. We had it for a while for the dealers, but now the individuals can go online and do it. And of course, we've had the driver's license for quite some time. We have a Real ID Head Start that you can do online, which essentially you're scanning your documents in to verify that you have what you need to get a Real ID.
Okay.
That way you know if you come in, you have what you already were supposed to have had. And that stuff's scanned in, we can verify it. You still have to bring the originals in because, you know, per guidelines, we still have to actually vet those physical documents. But at least you know you're coming with what you need. You're not going to be turned away.
For folks who live farther away.
Yeah,
I mean, some people live 5 minutes from their closest DMV. Some people live an hour and a half.
Yeah, so if you scan it in, our
Yeah.
driver services section, our driver issuance section, I apologize, they reviewed it. They said, hey, you had proof of residency. These look good. Your birth certificate was good. Your name variances, different things from your name changes, all that looks good. You've taken those same documents they approved you for. You know you have what you needed. There's no coming in and saying, oh, well, you need this. I apologize. We're doing what we can to not to send a customer away, but there's laws, statutes, policies we have to go by. So a lot of the things, it's not that we want to turn you away, it's we have to by law. I mean, because that's how we operate. Laws are set, policies are set, and we enforce and adhere to those. So a lot of times, there's not a whole lot we can do.
And some of those are national standards,
They
not
are.
just.
Yeah, the Real ID is a
state.
federal.
Mm-hmm. Let's talk about you and your position amongst the other, the leadership team here at DMV. Because we've mentioned Everett Frazier, our commissioner, Deputy Commissioner Linda Ellis, respected far and wide, the other executive director, Eric Tipton, and then a team of excellent directors in individual sections here at DMV. Just open and broad, tell me about these folks.
Oh, we have a great team. We have a lot of things going on. We continue to try to modernize our systems. So, of course, we have a lot of people involved in that, a lot of the directors. You know, we have our driver issuance section. We have our driver services section. John Springer, our director of vehicle services, he is at the forefront for electronic liens and digital titling. He's highly respected by AMVA. He's looked to for he speaks on several committees and everything. So he's brought us a lot of positivity that way with the federal community. Of course, we have our Governor's Highway Safety Program. We have our director there, Jack McNeely. And of course, I mentioned our driver issuance section, which of course is Arlene Moore. Driver services is Rachel Payne. So we have a lot of different things we're working on. We continue to strive to modernize everything. Even the things we've already worked toward and we have moving, we're trying to still take them further.
Yeah.
Like we just said, duplicate title thing online, that was recent. We also put a few other things out online from vehicle services. We hope to one day get our driver system modernized so we can have kind of a customer-centric system to where we can connect things together. That way, you know what you have everywhere based on your driver's license, your vehicle. There's no looking for everything. And that will also make the customer transaction more seamless, because instead of having to work through 2 or 3 different systems, there's one system that's easier to get to that customer's information quicker, and there's no questions for us or them.
We've heard from some of these people on the podcast, and we will be hearing from the others one by one, because the programs that people are working on, they're all very detailed. They're deep. There's a lot going on behind the scenes, things we're working on implementing right now for later. What are some of your just personal favorite things DMV is trying to work on and implement now that we're working, that aren't maybe in play yet, but things we're working on?
Of course, my biggest one is modernizing our driver system. We modernized the vehicle system several years ago, and that's made a big difference. I like to continue to move things online. We want customers to have, our guests, to have that ability to decide that you want to come to DMV. There's some things you have to. I mean, there's only so many things we can put online. You're always going to have to come to the DMV whenever you first move to our state. A lot of people say the DMV is kind of the face of West Virginia, because we are one of the only agencies. You have to see us face to face when you move to our state, and that's a big part of being a positive interaction and wanting you to say, "Hey, I like West Virginia now."
Because we're kind.
It's not as bad.
It's a good first impression.
Because we have customers come in. Sometimes you'll get, "This is the worst DMV I've been to." Then you'll get, "I've been to 5 or 6 different states. So I've been in the military and I've lived in all these states, and this is the best DMV I've been to." I mean, it's kind of a potpourri of different things you're going to get.
That is an easy place to impress someone, though.
It is. I mean, because we're the first ones.
Yeah.
And that's kind of how part of where the commissioner takes that stance. Because that's been a thing that's always been said. We're the only place you ever have to actually go. But we want you to not have to actually make a trip if you don't have to. Of course, we have knowledge testing online now, but you still have to come in to us to get your actual license once you take that test.
Yeah.
If you're taking the skills test, you have to come in. Currently, you have to come in when you have a brand new title that's not going through dealership, but that may very well change in the near future. Some other things we're working on. So just more of the availability to only have to come in physically if you absolutely have to, but you have the option to do everything else online and not by mail or something like that, and have it quicker that way.
How did you end up working for the DMV?
Well, actually, next month will make my 15th year with the DMV. Last month made my 25th year with the state. I actually started with the state when I was 19 in corrections. Went up through for 10 years, moved through a couple different places, and wanted to get out of corrections. Happened to see, I was originally from Braxton County, but I'd moved to Randolph County, and found that there was an opening in Flatwoods at the DMV for Supervisor 3, and applied for it. Was lucky enough to get it and moved back to Braxton County. Next to my in-laws, of course, but you take the good with the bad. But I rephrase that, the bad with the good sometimes. But yeah, and I've enjoyed it. It's one of the best decisions I've ever made. I have met a lot of great people, and I've been able to definitely move up in my career. I was actually a sergeant when I left corrections. So I went through the ranks. I started as a supervisor, then I was a manager, then I was a coordinator, then I was director, and I'm executive director. So
you can come in as a Supervisor 3 and work your way to executive director.
You can.
The thing I've noticed about you, anytime I ask you a question, I get a coherent paragraph as an answer. You don't tell me one sentence and pass me off to someone. You know the stuff. I mean, you're helping our directors, you're supervising them, you're working with them, but you also know what they're doing.
Well, and the big thing too, I always tell people is you may not always know the answer. It's important to know where to find the answer. Yeah. So you don't have to know it all, you just know where to find it. And you mentioned the directors. Those are the great sources of information that we have. We all work together as a team. I know I missed a few directors mentioned earlier. Of course, we have Richard Allen. He's over our management services, and then of course a lot of the stuff we can't get done without Steve Monroe over in purchasing, making sure we have the money to do it. So we talk to each other, we work things out, we're a good team. And I think that's part of why we're able to continue to evolve and make things better.
One section always seems to want to help the next section
It does,
too.
it does.
What would you say to somebody looking at a job opening like the one you looked at to begin with in Flatwoods, thinking about a career with DMV?
I would say go for it. I mean, it was hard, I'll be honest, because I had been, even in another state job, having done it for over 10 years, the nauseousness in my stomach from even applying for it and doing something different. But taking that leap, and it worked out all the better for me. I would never look back. Never happier about a decision in my life.
Always hard to try something new.
It was, like I said, even knowing you're going from a state job to a state job, and I was still securing what I had. It was just, this is all something brand new. But like I just said, with the directors we have now, I've always had people that have been willing to work and teach you and show you things. The manager of Flatwoods, she decided she'd take a chance on me.
Yeah.
15 years ago.
It's so much fun to hire the
I'm here
one who
now.
wants to be here.
So
It's fun to look at,
Yep.
you got candidates, you got people coming in, and when you find somebody who's got that, want to do something. But yeah, we do have, from time to time, openings available around the state. And one thing I've noticed, we have a lot of people who stay 30 plus years before they retire.
we do. A lot of people want to stay in the areas they're at. I actually had, and the thing sometimes is, if you want to move up, you got to be willing to move sometimes. Not necessarily physically move where you live, but move around a little bit.
Yeah.
I actually had somebody in the office actually ask me a few months ago, they wanted some advice, some guidance as to, they said they actually respected what I was able to accomplish, which I wasn't really expecting that, but how I did it. And I said, well, you have to be willing to move around. I mean, I started at one jail, moved to another one to promote. And then, of course, I came to Flatwoods from corrections. Then I moved up from the supervisor in Flatwoods, opened up the office in Summersville as the manager. Then I moved to coordinator, and I had to come to Charleston. I never moved where I lived.
And I bet you had that same pit of your stomach.
I did.
Comfort level thing.
I just moved how much further I drove every time.
Yeah.
But I never actually moved where I was, but I was willing to change locations. So, like what you said, it's fortunate we have people to stay a long time, but if you are that person that wants to move up quickly, you have to be willing to move to where the positions are as far as the locations you're working out of.
A lot of times, though, people think there's no jobs in West Virginia.
There are. You
have
to
jobs.
really look for them. You have to want to go for them. You can't just expect them to fall into your lap, because they're not going to, unless you work to try to find them sometimes.
We'll definitely encourage people to join us. It's a great place to work. I'm finding
It is a
to be
great place to work. We have great teams. Of course, we have 26 locations through the state. They're not always hiring. Like you said, we have some that we probably had openings in 5, 6, 7 years.
They get the jobs and keep them 30 years.
Yeah, so, but there's other places that have them.
Yeah.
You just have to be, like I said, you have to be willing to go to those places and work in those
And I would
places.
encourage, I was talking to Natalie, who does recruiting, and she was here, and she's at DOT now. And she said if you don't get the job the first time you try, keep applying, because there are
Yes.
positions, but, so once you get in, you're here.
And that's the same thing with promoting.
Yeah.
Even a lot of people think, I'm not going to get the job. I'm not going to try. So what?
Someone's going to get it. So, yeah.
Get the experience.
Yeah.
Show that person that you want that job.
Yeah.
I mean, because to me, even if you don't think you're going to get it, if you're trying to get it, you're showing me that initiative. You're wanting to get it. You keep coming back because you want this job. You want to move up. You want to do more with what you have.
Yeah.
But to just not do anything, you got to go for it. You got to show you want it.
Thank you for joining us, Cecil. It's a lot of information. It's a
problem.
lot of insight. 1,000-foot view. If someone you're talking to somebody at the grocery store or with somebody you went to high school with, they say, well, why do you like working for DMV? What do you tell them?
I like the people I work with. I like what we're able to do for the people of West Virginia. I like that we're ever changing. I mean, you can almost say on the daily we're changing something, so you got to keep up with it. Keeps your mind working, keeps you looking for solutions. So it's just a real good experience for me. I mean, I wouldn't change it.
Absolutely. We've been talking to Cecil Loyd, Executive Director with the West Virginia Division of Motor Vehicles. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back on the other side. Harvey will bring us the news. Stay with us.
With sunny days in the forecast and smooth roads around the state, motorcyclists will be out in increasing numbers enjoying the country roads, the hills, the curves, and the breathtaking views around West Virginia. All drivers are reminded to listen, look twice, and pay attention to the task at hand at all times when driving through our beautiful state. As West Virginia welcomes motorcyclists, let's keep everyone safe on the country roads that take us home.
If there were only 1 mile of road in the state of West Virginia, everyone would know what's happening with that 1 mile. But with 36,000 miles of road and 7,000 bridges, West Virginia Division of Highways understands that drivers have questions. When you're wondering about a specific road, call 833-WV-ROADS. You'll receive a response in less than 7 days letting you know what's happening with the mile in front of your house, the mile on the way to the grocery store, the mile that matters to you. That number again is 833-WV-ROADS.
I'm Harvey, here to bring you your West Virginia Division of Motor Vehicle news. America's 250th anniversary license plates are going fast. Of the 5,000 special edition plates printed, just 1,000 remain. The plates are available at all DMV regional offices on a first-come, first-served basis. The distinctive design features an American flag and fireworks, with a mountain scene and New River Gorge Bridge. I'm seeing these on cars wherever I go, and the colors in the design seem to complement every color of car, from red to white to blue. One thing to remember about the limited edition plate is that they are specially numbered. They are not available as personalized plates. Once they're gone, they're gone. But the West Virginia Division of Motor Vehicles just might have another unique license plate design on the horizon, so stay tuned. To get the America's 250th specialty license plate, again, stop by your regional DMV office in person or call 1-800-642-9066. I'm Harvey, and that concludes our news break. Stay safe, and I'll talk to you soon.
You've been listening to License to Innovate, West Virginia Division of Motor Vehicles podcast. You know, I really enjoyed the perspective from Executive Director Cecil Loyd about beginning a new path and being nervous. DMV jobs are all around the state, and they're good quality jobs serving West Virginia itself. From making a good impression on the new citizen, as Cecil also mentioned, to being here to build an innovative agency that the employees and the guests alike really deserve, and try to be the agency that West Virginia deserves. You're listening to License to Innovate, the intermittent podcast available on our West Virginia Division of Motor Vehicles Facebook and YouTube pages. Be sure to subscribe to YouTube to catch the upcoming news and new episodes of this podcast. This is License to Innovate. I'm Jennifer Dooley.